Are you there? Guys? Okay, well, I don't expect anybody to be here. That's okay. This is my first live. I do not know what I'm doing. So if you're joining me, welcome to the chaotic live stream. I wanted to celebrate because it's been a while. I reached 1,000 subscribers a while ago. Couldn't do any kind of celebratory video or anything at that time, but here we are today. And it just so happens that this will be my 500th video on ye old YouTube. So yay, cheers to that. 500 videos is a ton. That's a lot. It's a lot of filming. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of editing, and I don't like the editing process. It's a lot of like anxious feelings seeing how it will be received by you guys. But you guys have all been super lovely, and I love you, and I thank you, and I appreciate you. So yay for being part of the 1,000 subs here on the channel. Super exciting. Okay, so when I had originally wanted to do a celebratory video for 1,000 subs, I had asked a bunch of you guys what you wanted to see or whatever. And a couple of you guys actually said you wanted to see me bake a cake, which was interesting. So I'm gonna bake a cake. I mean, today is Valentine's Day. It just so kind of works out. I'm gonna bake a cake. It's not from scratch, of course. I'm not that good of a baker. But I'm just gonna make a cake, actually brownies, from a box for my husband and I for tonight since it's Valentine's Day. So, you know, it all kind of works out. I'm going to make this cake. I mean, brownies. Why do I keep calling it a cake? I'll probably keep calling it a cake, okay, guys? It's just gonna be a cake. So we're gonna make Reese's peanut butter brownies from a box. Woo woo! And this is my first time doing a live, like I mentioned, so I don't know how to do this. Hey, Monique. Okay, so I'm seeing comments popping up, but I don't know how to go back and view them. So if I miss your comment, you guys, I apologize. Heat the oven to 325. Our oven bakes a little cool, if that's the right way of saying it. So I always have to like put it a little bit warmer and then put it in a little longer. So it's an old oven, okay? Okay, what else do we have? Butter. How much butter? 1 tablespoon. Got the butter, got the tablespoon. Let's see. You guys, this is gonna be so boring for you, but legit, this is what you asked for. So this is what you get. That's kind of a tablespoon. What else? Cocoa. Wait, what am I doing? I'm actually reading the wrong recipe, so that's fun. So, okay, I have butter in there. I guess extra butter in the brownie mix is just gonna have to be good because I was totally reading the wrong recipe. You guys wanna know a little something something? These eggs are from my parents' chickens. They have chickens and they lay eggs, and it's fun. Those chickens are so cute. I hope this wasn't meant to be room temperature because it's cold. Good thing I didn't use the whisk, you guys, because this really didn't need it. Wanna have a close look? We need to bake it for 39 minutes. So we have to find something to do, you and I, for 39 minutes. We do have the Q&A coming up a little bit later on, and I'm going to do chocolate covered strawberries for Valentine's Day, of course. Chaos. Oh, that's good timing. Plop this in. And so keep in mind I put in butter in this recipe that did not call for butter. So, I mean, I feel like butter was never a bad thing to add to like any recipe, right? Marshmallows. My husband does not like marshmallows, so I'm only gonna put marshmallows in a little bitty, corner. That can be my corner. You can have the rest. Put in the oven. Set for 39 minutes, which is strange. I feel like why not 40, but whatever. We'll do 39 minutes. What else? Strawberries. Let's do the chocolate covered strawberries. I do not have chocolate on hand to melt for my strawberries. So I looked up online a recipe for like your own chocolate. I don't have things on hand. But I had a little bit of cocoa left. This is highly expired cocoa because I don't bake. But we're gonna use it and it's gonna be great. I'm gonna reuse this actually because why not? That's about a quarter cup, good. Cool, 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 cool. So there's that. Let's put it, oh. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but this is a chaos live. So my salt shaker thingy just fell in my mixture. All right, let's do this. I'm thinking I shouldn't have used a bowl. I should have just put it in here. Probably. Okay, while that's warming up, it might take a hot minute. Hot minute. I have a few questions that people had asked from me to answer on this celebratory video. Okay. Lindsay, it wasn't a question, but she wants me to do an updated plant tour. I have 2 plant tours, I think, on my channel currently. So you can go check those out if you are so inclined to see my houseplants. But they are kind of old. It's been a couple of years, I think. So yeah, I should really put a new video up here. So, plant tour coming up in April. Check it out. Stacy says, okay, so she says, which characters would you like to cosplay? So if you don't know, I am currently trying to find, mostly at the thrift store, but I'm currently trying to find materials, clothing items, all that kind of stuff for Hobbit cosplay because I really want to like be able to transform into a Hobbit. I think that would be like goals for me because if you guys don't know, I mean, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit are my jam. Tolkien, my buddy. Hobbit is the only one that's really stuck out to me. But if you guys have any ideas of like, I guess you could be, like it wouldn't have to be really licensed characters, right? Like I could just be a fairy or a mermaid. I would love to be a mermaid, but how do you do that properly when you have legs, right? Awkward. Alice. Ooh, Alice. That could work. You might be onto something, Chantel. That could work. And I do love me Alice in Wonderland. I could like, oh, I'm getting ideas. This is gonna be interesting. This might cut out every 20 minutes. I apologize. We're here for the chaos. We are still waiting for the chocolate to cool off a little. I don't know how you guys make like chocolate sauce from scratch. Is it thick enough? Or it may just run off the strawberry, I feel like. So we're gonna let it cool a little bit more. And we're doing a little bit of a Q&A. So welcome here, if you're here. I didn't advertise this, so there's probably nobody here. So, hey! Okay, the next question on my Q&A little list here is from Melissa. She says, any travel plans this year? My husband and I don't really, we're not very good at like long-term travel plans. Just wait, let me, hello? Are you there? Okay. Hey! Okay. Hi. So, hey Chantel, thanks for coming back. yeah, so anyway, Melissa was asking, do we have any travel plans this year? And my husband and I are kind of bad with making long-term travel plans, like far in the future. We're a little bit more spontaneous, and that's not always a good thing. Sometimes it can be fun, but it doesn't always work out. But as for travel plans, we would like to go to the mountains because we still have our national park pass, which is something that Canada has, like all of the national parks. I'm sure the states do the same thing, or maybe other countries do the same thing, but all of our national parks throughout the country, you can buy like a pass, and then for a year you can come and go without the fee because you've already paid for the pass, you know? So we have that, and it's going to expire at the end of May, I think. So it would be nice to make use of that pass and go to the mountains before the end of May. So we're hoping for that. Hi, I'm in my PJs. Okay, does this angle work for you? I don't want to be like, I don't want you guys to be like looking down too far, but you know, I think this works. I got the strawberries sitting on some paper towel to dry off. Got my little red paper straws. Let me know in the chat, what's your take on the paper straws? Oh, I don't think this is working. That's not very, I mean, you guys can't see because you're a little bit far away, but they're just only lightly coated with chocolate. I think maybe that means the chocolate's too hot. Well, while we're waiting here for the chocolate to cool off, I don't like this. Do you like this? I feel like it's dark. Hi, is it any lighter after you're shaking? I don't know if it's any brighter, but I got a few more questions. Anyway, the writing Songbird had a few questions. She says, if you wrote a book, what would it be? If I wrote a book now, though, what would it be? First of all, I don't think I would be good at writing a book. I think I have some ideas, and I think like I can write well enough for like maybe a blog or, you know, something simpler, but to actually think of conceptually a plot, a really engaging plot with, oh man, you guys, I have ideas. I've written down plot ideas before and character name, excuse me, that's what happens on lives, I guess. Character names and like family trees and stuff for potential books. But when I start writing, I think it just feels too overwhelming. And I don't have a strong sense of plot or like the way that a story should flow or the kind of Easter eggs you need to be leaving early on in the story to make the ending fulfilling. I don't think I'm good with that kind of thing. But if we're not trying to think too deeply into this, writing Songbird, into her question, as I tend to do, I would say I would write fantasy, of course, Christian fantasy. Okay, so she also asks, what is your favorite food? I like carbs. So I like potato, any kind of potato. So fries, chips, mashed potatoes, it's all good. I love gravy, I love cheese. What else do I like? Oh, when my mom makes buns, first of all, the buns are amazing. But then secondly, if she has like leftover dough, she'll make like this sweet bun thing with like this cream. I don't know. It's really good. That's one of my favorites. I like angel food cake, but it has to be like with whipped cream and strawberry sauce. I like pizza. Pizza is good, but sometimes I'm not in the mood. I know like some people is like pizza anytime, any day, anytime. But for me, I'm like, I have to be in the mood. Do you guys have Five Guys Burgers and Fries, that restaurant? I really like their hot dogs. It's very good hot dogs. Like poutine. There's some of my favorite foods. I'm not a huge baking person. Like sweets overall, I guess. I'm not super as I'm making brownies. But yeah. I can't really think of any other foods. I mean, I know there's lots because I like food. I love to eat food. So there's that. The next one. What book would, okay, wow, reading. What book world would you want to live in? I've had this question before, like in tags and stuff, and I don't really know how to answer because I don't retain information like that. Like I read a lot of fantasy, but I don't really retain the information of that world and like keep it down the road. So for me, like it's like is it fantasy or is it real world? Because if it's real world, well, success. I'm already living in the real world. So there's that. But fantasy worlds, the only one I can think of, honestly, is Middle Earth, and I don't want to live in Middle Earth. Because, I mean, giant talking spiders. I'm out. Oh yeah, that did not harden. How about... I don't know how to do this, you guys. Is that? That's a bit thicker. Can you guys see? Like, maybe? It's just for eating, right? I'm not going to be taking... It's not for Instagram photos or Pinterest or anything, so... I don't know. I'm going to say I am too impatient to let it cool anymore, so we're just going to have barely covered chocolate covered strawberries. Oh no, that's not gonna work. Oops. Ta-da! I made a super rookie move. So as I've been doing this has been sitting on a warm burner. So the genius, I tell ya, is overwhelming. I'm gonna go pop this in the fridge. BRB. I don't even know what we were talking about, you guys. You probably shouldn't eat on live stream. I think that's... Hey. Brownie should be done. I need to get my oven mitts and take out the brownies. I'll show you. Brownies, done. I should probably not tip it too much, but it's looking pretty good. I have marshmallows on a little corner that turned out to be a bigger corner. For me, because my husband does not like marshmallows, so that's my corner, and then he can have the rest of it. Let that cool off so I can let the strawberries cool off, and then I can see if it works to like stab the strawberries in the cake. Anyway, I have a few more questions, you guys. So this is the Q&A segment of this live that I'm doing. The question was from Celestria. What's one of your favorite childhood memories? And I was saying that I have been very blessed. God has blessed me with a very amazing family, and I've had a beautiful childhood and really great memories, and I don't take that for granted. So what is one of my favorite childhood memories? Okay, so we lived on an acreage until I was 9 years old, and I absolutely love animals. So that is absolutely a highlight in and of itself, that I was able to live 9 years out in the country. Well, we were part of a village, but we still had, it was still an acreage, and we had animals. So not like livestock, but we had a bunch of cats and a dog. And when I was really little, we had chickens, but I don't really remember that. So I mostly just remember the cats and the dog, but that's, I mean, I love animals, so I'll take whatever I can get. And so that's a big highlight. Childhood. 12 years old is still childhood. So I guess another highlight would be I became an auntie when I was 12 years old. So I was a young auntie, and I absolutely love babies. So I don't know, I got animals and I had lots of babies around me, so it was fun. It was a good time. Another question she had was, if your favorite shelf, oh boy, ooh, was on fire, which 5 books would you save? I'm going to save this question to the end so we can go there at the end, okay? Okay. Next question she had, what have you been reading / studying in the Bible lately? Honestly, I've been doing a crap job of reading my Bible. We missed church 2 Sundays in a row. And I just felt like we've been going to a new church and I love it. And I crave going, and like it's something I really look forward to every week. I just love being there, and it's been great, but I need to do a better job of like, I don't know. I don't know if any of you guys struggle with like making time, not making time. We all have the time. How do you say? Prioritizing the Bible, because I feel like it takes effort, right? Because it's a relationship that you're investing in, and relationships take work. And I feel like it's just easy. I just want easy. So then I go to like an audiobook where I don't have to invest myself into it. I don't have to really be 100% present. I don't have to, like, it doesn't affect me. Like, investing in my relationship with God takes work, takes effort out of me. And by no means is that an excuse, for sure not. But it's just what I've been noticing, that I tend to take the easy way, and I just want to do what's easy, and that's not cool. I have this guy. This is the one I take to church. It's a beefy one. And this is the one when I do my home studying. This is what I do. So I guess what I can say, when I do study, she asked, what have I been reading or studying? When I do study, I'm going in, what's the word? When it's not chronological, but it's like front to back. I'm going in front to back order, and I'm using the Enduring Word Bible app, and I'm highlighting and taking notes. So this is my highlighting and taking notes Bible. This is my church Bible. This one, actually, I have plans that at any point in my life, I don't know if I'll get it finished first or not, but at any point in my life, if I come across somebody who needs a Bible, I want to give them this one, because it does have the highlights and the notes. And I think that would be, like, I just imagine getting that myself as the recipient. And I just think that would be so sweet and meaningful to get a Bible that has somebody else's highlights and notes. So that's what I'm working on here. Oh gosh, I am long-winded. I apologize. So Taylor asked a few questions. So she asked, how did I meet my husband? I was in grade 12. My brother-in-law just happened to be working with a guy who was recently single, and they were kind of just chummily talking. And then my brother-in-law, I think, meant it half as a joke, I think. And he just said to the guy, he was like, oh, I have a single sister-in-law, and Bob's your uncle. Now we're married 17 years later. She also asked, what are my favorite movies and TV shows? So, favorite movies. Lion King is my favorite Disney classic. I do love, like, The Greatest Showman. I mean, obviously, the Lord of the Rings, Hobbit movies are top tier. Yeah, The Greatest Showman. I love The Shallows, because I love me a good shark. So, yeah, those are, like, the first ones that come to mind. Oh, The Sentinel. Hello. I love The Sentinel. Nobody ever knows what I'm talking about when I say The Sentinel. And I think when you Google it or search it, there's actually a horror movie called The Sentinel. It's not that one. I don't watch horror movies. It's not that one. Don't get confused. It's the one with Michael Douglas and Kiefer Sutherland. And it's so good. So it's Secret Service and wrongly accused, stuff like that. TV shows, I love British television. I think they do an incredible job making TV shows. So I really love The Three Musketeers and like Sherlock and Downton Abbey. Those are good. I like The Office. There is a lot of crass material in The Office, so you have to like be able to sift through the crass jokes to get the good jokes, I guess. Like Chuck or White Collar, those are like staples. The Finder. I recently watched Perception, I think is what it's called. That's a good one. Murdoch Mysteries. It's a good one. Ghosts. I don't know. There's lots of good ones. So that's my answer, I guess. Gosh, you never really understand like the downfalls or the pitfalls of doing a live till you're doing a live. And it's like when you have to like burp, it's like, sorry. The next one she said is, what do you love about where you live? Which is a great question because I very often complain about where I live. I often say I don't like living here. And that is true as a blanket statement, but I've been trying to find good things about where I live. It's hard for me because I don't see the good things very easily about where I live, but I live in the Canadian prairies. This winter has been super mild, so that's awesome, but normally we have ridiculously cold winters, which is not fun. Our summers are really short. Wait, I'm telling you things that I don't like about where I live. I'm supposed to tell you things I do love about where I live. Let's try that again. I guess we get a lot of sunlight. That's something I've been realizing is like when you live in the mountains, your sunlight gets cut off a lot, or if you live in like a rainy climate, you get a lot of clouds. I don't know what other factors can play, but we get a lot of sun, a lot of blue skies and sun. People will often in this area rave about our sunsets and sunrises, and while they are beautiful, like I don't know if they're more beautiful than anywhere else, but I don't really notice those. So I don't think that's something I would miss if I was somewhere else. What else? What else do I like about being here? Taylor also asked, what is my salvation story? It's not really that interesting. I was 3 and I had a nightmare and I ran into my parents' bedroom. I grew up in a Christian home, so like I knew Jesus and God, and I knew about the salvation story, and I knew about the cross, and so this wasn't like new information, but they did share with me, again, reiterated the importance of being saved, and I was saved. So yeah, it's not that groundbreaking, but it did change the rest of my life, so it's fantastic, and I'm grateful for it. Okay, I got 3 more questions, you guys. Hold in there. 3 more questions. Kendra asked, what book or series started your love of reading? So I read The Hobbit in school, like it was required reading for one of my classes, and that was high school, and it didn't leave an impression on me at all. So I totally missed like the movie craze when the movies were brand new. I totally missed the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies, which was super sad. I never got to see them in theater or anything. But then it was like 2017. I reread The Hobbit because I think I had watched the movies. And yeah, so I was like, oh, I really like the movies actually. So I'm gonna read the book. And I read the book and I loved the book. And then I discovered BookTube, and then the rest is history. Here I am reading a bunch of books a month, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So she also asked, do you have any favorite devotionals? I don't do devotionals. I have tried devotionals throughout my life. Like I've been in the Christian circle my entire life. So I've tried numerous things on my own, through youth group, through being in a Christian school, all the things I've tried. And devotionals just don't work for me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the discipline of doing it every day. I don't know. I don't know if it's the feeling of like opening your book to read like your devotional book and then but you're not getting anywhere. So like in the book setting, like you're not really making any progress. I don't know if it's like a hang up like that. I don't know if there's just not enough meat per day for it to feel worth my time. I don't actually know why, but devotionals have never done it for me. She also asked if you could have only 3 hobbies, what would they be? Can I say art? Is that too vague? Because art would be hobbies. What would you consider a hobby? I don't, can I say art, watching movies, reading books? It would be that, or I would switch watching movies with watching TV shows, but I think movies. I don't know, maybe TV shows. I don't know. We'll go with that, I think. I think that sounds good. Hi, this is the favorite shelf, welcome. Okay, 5 books from my favorite shelf. Okay, well, I bet you didn't see this coming. So, The Hobbit, right there. Can you see it? Sort of. There it is. What else? What else do we have? What do we have back there? Nah. Not for my 5. We're gonna definitely pull out Fox because I mean, come on. Can we narrow this to fiction only? Because I feel like that's fair, right? I'm gonna say she means fiction only. What else do we have? Favorites. I would, this has been a favorite of mine, like since I was a teenager, and I still love it. I feel like I love it more for the nostalgia than the actual content. I'm overthinking this now because like, is this just, because if my books burn, and I can only save 5, is that just like starting my next collection? Or am I only allowed 5 for the rest of my life? I can't buy any more? Like I can't replace any of them? Do I still have a library? Like I have so many questions. So, from my favorite shelf, I think I'm gonna go with Heinz Feet on High Places. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with Heinz Feet on High Places because I read it once, I loved it. This book was kindly gifted to me by my beautiful friend, so it's special to me for that. I mean, a lot of my books have been gifted, but this is one I really want to reread, and I think I could reread it over and over and over. So we're gonna say Heinz Feet on High Places. Do I pick, like the bottom here is my secular fiction that are my favorites. Back here is like middle grade. I don't know if I would save any, but this is such a gorgeous collector's edition. So do I pick this one? Plus it was gifted from a friend and it's a collector's edition. I think for that reason I have to pick this. So we're gonna pick Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. Let me know in the chat if you've read Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. It's really good if you like fantasy. But it's not Christian, so keep that in mind. What do I have? 4? I think I'm gonna do Mark of the Raven because I really want to reread this series also. Anybody want to reread this with me? These are the 5 books I would save. Not a very nice question, Celestria. Summertime, Ravenwood Saga, reread. Let's do it. Anywho, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Do you guys want to see the brownies? Do you guys want to see the, maybe I'll just show a picture on my Instagram. I'll show a picture on my Instagram how the brownies turned out. Okay, thank you guys for being here. my first ever live for the gong show that was this video. If you have any more questions for me or anything you want to say, leave them in the comments below. Wait, yes, because this is going to be a video at some point. So yes, thank you so much for being here, everybody. Love you all. I'm going to sign off. So ciao.